Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sphere of Being, the podcast that has a caring heart in business. We're always trying to find guests for you that really do come up as heart-centered leaders who have a compassion and who are very powerful and successful in what they do, just to prove the point that leading with love is not a namby-pamby kind of way of doing things. It's a very strong and beautiful emotion to be able to get things done and to be successful. And today I have Jackie Collier. Now, this lady, I don't know how she manages to fit everything in her day, to be honest with you, because literally she's doing about 1,000,001 things. So I'm just going to read from the sheet that we've got for Jackie so that I can give you a little bit about what she does. So Jackie is an ethical property investor and director at Airworth Property Ltd. It's an investment company with their own portfolio of buy-to-lets for private rental, but mainly social housing in Heathley and Bradford. Airworth Property Services Limited, a portfolio building company, finding great buy-to-let investments for clients in West Yorkshire, with Bradford being UK Capital of Culture 2025. I didn't even know that. So there we go. We are in a great area for huge potential capital growth based on previous cities of culture, because Glasgow, I remember years ago was, and it really helped them. So yeah, let's do great things. Airworth Housing Limited is a social housing company working with housing providers, portfolio building clients and other landlords in West Yorkshire to put social housing leases on single let family houses to create homes for people in need. And the housing crisis is not going to get any easier. And so you are doing a fantastic job. And last but by no means least, and this is just touching the surface, Jackie also has the most amazing charity. It's after my own heart because I'm a bit of a dog lover myself. It's called Happy Paws UK Rescue CIC. It's community interest company raising finance to spay, neuter and rescue dogs in Bosnia to save from a life of cruelty, abuse and neglect. And to be honest with you, Jackie, you do have the wonderful dogs in the office, but I don't know how it's not like 101 Dalmatians in your office, because I tell you what, I couldn't get rid of any of them. I would have just become the dog lady.
It's one half Dalmatian, actually.
Oh,
But the others are a mix of other things. But yeah, we've got half a Dalmatian.
oh, bless you. And you know what? Yeah, I couldn't get rid of any of them. I'd be like, oh, me
Heartbreaking.
dogs and loving every minute of it. So
Oh, it is so heartbreaking. It is, like you say, there are so many dogs everywhere. It's not just Bosnia. I mean, it's all around the world that desperately, desperately need help. And there's been such a fashion, particularly since COVID, I think, of people having their like designer dogs and such like, and breeders are making an absolute fortune, charging thousands for puppies, often kept in atrocious circumstances. And there are so many loving dogs that desperately need a home. I think people assume rescue dogs have got issues, they've got problems. And I'm not saying that some of them haven't, but for everyone that has, there are 10 that have fallen on some kind of hard time through circumstances not of their own doing, that just want to be loved.
yeah.
They just want to be loved and fed and cuddled and looked after and know that they're human and a part of a family. And it don't matter where you are. I would encourage anybody and everybody, if you want a dog and you know you can look after it, which is the key thing, don't get one on a whim, make sure you know you can look after it, but go to a rescue, be it our rescue or any rescue, and go and meet the dogs, bond with them, pick the ones that bond with you, and just love them like you would a child.
I know. Oh, I know. Oh, Oh, I know. It tugs at my heart like you wouldn't believe. And I've got a little dog. Every now and again, she appears on the podcast. A little nose pops up. She's called Tilly, and she's at doggy daycare today. So I've got a day off from her. So she's not woofing because every now and again she does. Listeners go, "Oh, what's that?" And it's Tilly. But you know what? It's the best thing I ever did. I have a lifestyle now where I can support a dog because I work from home now.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things that, oh, I wish I'd have done it years ago, but I know that I couldn't have had a lifestyle. I was out too much in the sense of working and working away and traveling, etc. And that wouldn't have been fair. But as soon as the opportunity arose, and I knew that that would be a long-term opportunity and not just, a COVID special, as it were,
Yeah.
I made a decision. But I found it very difficult to actually get a dog. I checked the RSPCA. Honestly, they wanted so much, and I can understand because they don't want to be rehoming them, and I do understand that. But it was like every time I wanted one, they're gone. I just couldn't get in there quick enough. And because I was doing my
It's
house,
good.
I know it's brilliant, it's wonderful. I think the situation has changed now. I think there's so many more dogs that can't get good homes. You see awful stats and it comes on my feed, like some dogs have been there pretty much all their lives.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
awful.
heartbreaking when you look at how many days, years, some dogs have been in rescue, in kennels, yes, looked after by the kennels, but it's no substitute for family.
No,
And
no,
you look at the little faces and it's like,
no.
how I haven't got 50 dogs or 500 dogs is beyond me.
Yeah, that would be me, unfortunately. I'd look at them and I'd go, I'm taking you all. I'm having you all.
I know, I know. I need to go out to Bosnia. I mean, I know we support the Bosnian Rescue, and some of the other directors have been. I've not been. And my husband said, if you go, I'm coming with you because I don't trust you not to bring them all home.
I know it's hilarious, isn't it, in some ways? And so anybody listening, and this is a real plea from my heart as well, because I'm totally genuine about this. Do be in touch with Jackie. Make sure that her details are on the show notes. And also, Jackie, at the end of the podcast, please do give us your details because if you can give a dog a loving home, and I'm sure they're fine with children and maybe other dogs as well, depending on their personality.
Yeah.
Um, you know, it would be wonderful to give them a loving, long-term, caring household. And they just so enrich your lives. And actually, for me, because I live on my own, it's just wonderful to give that love to another little creature. And she just has to look at me now, and I just know exactly what she wants. And she humps at me all the time now. You'll have to ask you, as a perhaps you'll understand. If I get her to say, I say sit, and she looks at me, and I go sit, and she'll plump her bottom down, and she goes,
Yep.
and I'm like, hang on, is that being a bit of a madam? She's just, well, she turned 2 in November. And I'm like, are you humping at me? And she's just like, humph, like that, so, and adorable. I can't take my eyes off her actually when she's out either. She just is, she's a little wire-haired dachshund. Well, she's a standard size. And watching those little legs go and, oh, just, and I smile so much more as well.
And they just make you happy, don't they?
They make you happy. And yeah, she could be a little frustrating thing every now and again, but she is a dog at the end of the day, and I've got to let her be a little doggy. Sometimes she's not going to do everything that she's told. But yeah, so please do, everybody. You can see I'm getting carried away. I'll cry in a minute. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Ah.
But do you know, even if people aren't able to adopt for whatever reason, there's so many other ways to help. I mean, it costs us about £8,000 a month to support the shelter
Wow.
because we have to pay food, we have to pay for all the vet's bills because some will come out because we take them out of the kill shelters as well. So some have got, they've been injured or whatever. We have pregnant females come in, so obviously you've got to look after the puppies. They all need vaccinating. They all need like normal vaccinations, plus all the additional things that when you're in a big shelter, like kennel cough, and over there's brucellosis and all that sort of thing that you have to be really, really careful. So there's lots of vets bills and basics like water, hay to keep warm.
Yeah, or something like that. Or
You have to
toy.
look after them.
Yeah, toys are so important. Tilly loves snuffling about with a toy. She's ripped everything to bits, mind you. I've just got bits of cloth.
Yeah, well, me too.
You know,
I'll
and they
do
go
the
in the
same.
woods once a week and they come out and she's so pleased to see her bits of rags that she's torn.
Yeah,
And every now
yeah,
and again she gets a new one that she completely rips to bits again. You know,
exactly.
it's supervising, so she's not eating it. But they like that little bit of extra
Yeah,
stimulation, don't
yeah.
they?
And treats and all sorts of things. So, if you can't adopt, then maybe you could support us in other ways. If
Yeah.
you could afford £30 a month, you can sponsor a dog in Bosnia for £30 a month. If you can't afford £30 a month, even donating a pound helps. Or we have an Amazon wish list. You could go on the Amazon wish list and order stuff online that gets delivered and picked up to go back to Bosnia. There's so many different ways. And yeah, if we could encourage people just to set up a standing order, be it £5, £10, whatever you can afford, that makes it so much better for the dogs.
Mm,
It's easier for us from a fundraising point of view because it takes so much time
yeah.
finding all different ways to fundraise. We're doing a ball. We do a ball every year, so we've got a ball next February. And again, there's details on our Facebook page. So please
Yeah.
follow us, see what we do, support us in any way you can. Because Renata out in Bosnia has the worst job in the world. In the We actually feed the dogs in the kill shelters as well as in our own shelter, and she goes into the shelter and she has to play God.
With
She
which one
has to
she's going
decide
to.
who we can save and who we can't,
Oh,
who we bring out. And obviously, it's the most needy because they're injured or they're the weakest, they're going to get picked on, whatever it may be. But we can only take a certain number of dogs out because we can't afford any more to support in our own shelter. So the more people can spare and share, the more dogs we can save.
and why do you think there is this massive crisis with dogs in these rescue centres? What's going wrong in our society?
Well, so many countries, particularly kind of Eastern Europe and around the north of the Med or south of the Med as well, a lot of them culturally don't look at dogs the way that we do here. So because they're not a pet in the way that we would treat a pet, they could be chained up in their gardens or places for like years and never come off a chain. They breed because none of them are spayed, which is why we have the spay and neuter program. Even if we can't take the dogs into the shelter, if we can spay and neuter and release, at least we can stop them reproducing. Because the thing people don't realise, and this shocks everybody, for every pair of dogs, a male and a female dog that are unneutered, in just 6 years, exponentially, they will produce 67,000 puppies.
Oh my word, I thought you were going to say
60
67 puppies. 67,000 and those
67,000
puppies breed and
puppies.
those puppies breed and those puppies breed.
It is frightening beyond belief. And if we can spay and neuter
Then
those
that's
two
not,
dogs at the start, think of all the lives you've saved.
oh yeah,
We've saved over 2 million puppies being born through the spay and neuter program.
wow.
So it, it costs €37 or £37 to spay a dog. So again, if anybody can donate towards it, even if they can't donate the full amount, then absolutely, that helps the problem, because it's not just about solving the existing problem, it's about trying to stop the problem at source.
Yeah,
And
it
it's a mountain to climb.
it
It
really is,
really is.
isn't it? I heard in France, and I'm not racist or against any cultures necessarily, but I heard in France that when they have something called the Grand Vacances, there's a couple of weeks or so, or few weeks that they take off in the summer. And it's not unheard of, and it's quite common apparently for people to put the dog outside and go on holiday and just leave them. I'm like, oh wow, that's incredible. And apparently they're really having to have a bit of a crackdown on that, is that they'll go away and they'll just abandon the dog.
Just appalling. Honestly, I just
Oh,
struggle to understand people's mentality. I mean, we also foster for Keithley Cat Care, but we've got 4 dogs and 5 cats. So we're down
wow.
the numbers. We used to have more. Um, but one of our cats, literally, we were her 4th home, and she was 8 weeks old.
Oh, bless.
I
How did
know.
that happen?
Somebody had her. They paid a lot of money for her. When they moved, they left her behind.
Oh,
They just left her behind. So
hey,
the local nurse or somebody took her, but she didn't get on with their cat. So then somebody else had her, and she didn't get on. She's a bit of a rough and tough, but
oh, well, she's had to be, bless her.
I know. How can you possibly move and leave your dog or your cat behind?
Oh,
And
yeah,
people
no, I
do.
know somebody who moved, and they saw the family just shut the door. The cat was there, and they drove off, and the removals drove off, and they left the cat
There's not enough penalties. I mean, penalties are better than they used to be for animal abuse, but they are not enough. They're not strong enough. And then you get this other side of the coin, and you get this stupid breed-specific legislation that just takes people's pets, puts pets down when the dog has done nothing wrong. They just happen to be a
there. The wrong
certain breed.
breed. Mm,
So wrong. And then on the next level, you get landlords who say you can't have your dog or your cat if you come to rent my property.
mm. That actually keeps people on the streets because people say, I'm not going into a property without my animal because they kept me going on the streets. They are my companions. So if I was on the streets again, I couldn't survive without this little creature.
Absolutely.
To make people, well, what would they do? Where would that animal go? So it's, yeah, I completely understand this awful way of thinking about things. And, I think it's now, isn't it? Haven't they made a legislation so that landlords can't discriminate against having a pet or now, but it's difficult.
Theoretically,
Yeah,
yes, they have, but our landlords abiding by it. Like any of our properties,
yeah.
we say pets allowed. I mean, you've got to be reasonable in as much as having a Great Dane in a tiny first floor flat or top
Not going to
floor
be right
flat
for the dog
is a
anyway,
pet.
is it, to be honest? Yeah.
Exactly. But I would never ever make anybody get rid of their animal because they wanted to rent one of our properties. It's part of the family.
Mm.
If I was going to be controversial, I'd say keep the pet, get rid of the kids.
Oh, bless. We don't mean that, really. We don't mean that. Oh my goodness.
We don't, but they are one of the kids, aren't they?
Well, the thing is, my little dog is, I suppose, well, she's not my surrogate child in that sense. I'm not like that, but I'm deeply connected with her. And I think I was watching a YouTube video actually from animal behavioral psychologist. He studies chimps and stuff. And one of his latest books is, are we clever enough to communicate properly with animals? And there's so many studies to be done where we put tests in and they think, oh, they don't use tools, but we're not giving them the right way in which they would use the tools. So actually, animals are much cleverer and ingenious than we give them credit for because we're not framing things from their map of the world. We're marrying it from our map of the world. So their behaviors and their understanding of things. I mean, again, it came up on my mobile newsfeed just the other day that this couple had gone camping in some remote area. I think it was Australia or somewhere like that. Anyway, they were out with a dog and it disappeared. And they couldn't find it, and they had to go back home, and they thought that was it. They'd lost this dog, and it was a little dachshund, actually, a mini dachshund, wasn't even a standard dachshund. Well, anyway, there have been sightings of this dog like 18 months later doing perfectly well, and she's gone back to the wild. You know, she's literally gone feral because
Yeah.
they can't catch her now. And they're like, how is she surviving? And in the feed, it came up and said, well, dogs are very resourceful. She's probably living off carrion and drinking from puddles and stuff like that. And she's very resourceful. She's probably sleeping under, you know, as much shelter as she can find. And, you know, the owners are desperate for somebody because it's a long way away from where they live to try and catch her. But they're saying, you know, if anybody's got sight of her. But often then you find that these dogs that have these adventures, it's not that you can't put them back in their home, because once they realize they're back with their family, back with their pet pack, they are so over the moon
Yeah.
to see them again that it might take a bit of integration, but actually they go back into what they've known really quite easily. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's such a problem. And anybody that's thinking about getting a pet for the kids, to look after, please don't rely on your children to look after it, because kids will, I want a dog, I want a puppy, I want this, I want that. Yeah, I'll look after it. Yeah, I'll look after it. But they are children and they're not adults. And so when it's there, their interest often, not always, but their interest often wanes. And it's usually the parent, the main caregiver, you know, that's perhaps it's the mum, it could be the dad, or in a single parent family, is, you know, it's just one person, but it will revert usually back to the care of the adult. And it's at that,
You can't let kids walk a dog on their own, really, either. It's not.
well, that's it. And a lot of people aren't walking their dogs. Full
Yeah.
stop. They're not walking their dogs because life gets in the way. It can be busy. But when I did that, I made a commitment that I had to walk my dog. And actually, I exercise her quite a bit, and she's very, very fit. So one day she has where she doesn't get a walk. She'll do smelly activity, you know, like with her nose and using her scent and using her brain more and stuff like that, because I wanted to have a rest, because otherwise I think she just get overwrought, and you know, I want her joints to be good. So she does have a day of rest. But otherwise, and the good thing is for me as well, it gets me out.
Yeah.
It gets me walking, it gets me energized. And the older you get, it's important to remain active and flexible. And as she's a dachshund, I'm always bending down and playing with her and, you know, moving around. And the first few weeks I got her, I thought, what's wrong with me? I ache all over. And I realized I was bending around and doing stuff that I hadn't actually done for years because I had no need to do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she's been great for my health and for my mental health as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And if people also get animals for the kids, they're not a toy. You need to watch your child with the pet, because pets are quite tolerant. Dogs and cats are quite tolerant. But if there's a child and you're letting that child stand on the dog, if you're pulling his ears, pulling his tail, tormenting the dog, basically, giving him food and snatching it away, that is when things go wrong. That's when dogs bite, because they're not doing it out of maliciousness, but they're getting frustrated and they're getting to the end of the tether in the same way as a human would if somebody's nattering and battering at you constantly. And people think, oh, it's the dog to blame. It's very, very rarely a dog to blame. It's the owner. It's the owner, how they've trained them or not trained them, or what they've let happen that is just not right for a dog. You know, they are individuals in their own right, and they're not there to be abused,
Yeah,
basically.
absolutely. Yeah, and there's a gentleman called, I mean, he's got the name, the Dog Whisperer, Caesar Milan over in the States, and he says, I don't train dogs, I train the owners.
Yeah, yeah. It's invariably the people that are at fault, which goes back to what I was saying before about breed specific. It's not the breed. Yeah. Every breed will have a bad egg in it.
Yeah.
In the same way, every race of humanity, regardless of culture, sex, religion, nationality, will have some bad eggs. It's just the way of the world. You get good people, you get bad people, and you get most people who are somewhere in between.
Mm.
But don't punish the dog when it's not their fault. It makes me mad. It makes me really mad.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, and I'm with you on that one. And I try as much as I can to be a responsible owner and know that my dog is a young dog and she's quite hyperactive in her little way. And so when we're out, she's good in the house, but when she's out, everything is like, so I'm trying to keep her in a calm environment, not get her overdone. But when she has her little moments, I'm keeping calm and I'm not, because you hear people shouting at them, and that's just making it worse.
Yeah.
And I just think,
Or
well, of
don't let them associate with other dogs. They want to meet their own kind. They
course.
want to play.
They want to play. That's it. So, but thank you. So now what we'll do is we'll swag away because there's no easy way of doing this really, apart from knowing that you're leaders with heart in your business and you've got this incredible way in which you help people with your social housing. So I'd love for you to talk a little bit about that so that the listeners can hear what you're doing there, because often investors can actually make a very good rate of return if they're looking to go into social housing. So just conscious of the time, but yeah, just let us know what you're doing with Airworth Property.
Yeah, so very briefly, I mean, we built our own portfolio initially with private rental. But as we got into social housing, it really sort of ticked boxes for us in as much as from a commercial angle, yes, it's better returns and it's a more passive investment because the housing association are dealing with everything. But you're also able to give people a really nice, warm, comfortable, safe home because we were coming across, we were viewing properties and shocked at what people were living in. I mean, seriously dangerous properties that we wanted to buy, whether it be for private rental or social housing. And then because we wouldn't offer the money that the vendor wanted because they thought it was worth more, but in the condition, no way. And then they said, oh, well, we'll just put another tenant in. You cannot be serious. You cannot put people in these properties to live. It's dangerous. And the more we got into it, the more we realised how big the demand is. And it's not just about housing, it's a far, far bigger knock-on effect. Because when you think people who, you know, again, through no fault of their own, have fallen on hard times, or maybe can't afford to buy their own house or can't afford private rental, have to have social housing. And not necessarily doing it independently through universal credit, but needing help to do it because they've got a bit more needs that need support through carers or just visiting from social workers. And a lot of these people are in temporary accommodation. You've got families in hotels or bedsits sharing a single room. How are people supposed to live like that? It is just not right. It's not right physically and it's not right mentally. And if you think the councils are probably paying £100 a night up here, so we're in Bradford, they're probably paying £100 a night for that accommodation, which is unsuitable, compared to maybe £700 a month for actual appropriate housing.
Mm.
So on a financial basis, it's wrong. Add to that, it's physically wrong and it's going to cause mental issues as well. So not only are they paying 4 times more than they need to pay, you've also got a knock-on effect that you've got costs with the NHS down the line through having to have treatment for mental health, treatment for disabilities, or maybe treatment for things that people have picked up. There's been more spread of illness or disease because people are in too close confinement. The cost to the country is appalling. The cost to the family is individual.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just had a thought. Kids can't study properly for school in that environment. So you're building a generation of a gap within a skill set so that they're disadvantaged. And you can have bright kids, they could go off the rails
Yep.
and end up in
Disadvantaged all the way along.
more cost, but ultimately they won't be able to contribute as much because perhaps their chances of getting a decent job or earning a decent income of whatever, whether they're self-employed or what have you, is greatly limited because they can't study properly in their living environment.
Exactly.
So it just is this awful, vicious cycle, isn't it?
It is. And, when you compare that to sort of what we're doing in two ways, either for our own portfolio, we'll buy a property, we'll refurbish it, we'll hand it across to social housing. So people are getting nice, warm, safe, comfortable homes, newly decorated, carpet, new furniture that they can come in and they can call home. And we do the similar service for anybody who wants to invest. So people who are like worried maybe that their pension is not going to be enough for them when they retire, if they've got some money, they can invest in a property. You can invest as little as 45,000 will get you started. You don't have to be buying the whole property in cash. You can get mortgages. You need as little as 45,000 will get you investing in a property. And you get so many advantages. You're getting rental income. And with social housing, it's guaranteed rental income. You're not responsible for the maintenance because the housing association will cover it. There's no management fees because the housing association will cover it. You also get capital growth on the property. So the longer you have that property, the more it's going to be worth in the future. You can refinance it, take out money, buy another property, do it again. So from a financially personal level, it's a great way to prepare for your future. But in an ethical way, you are helping families get out of that awful situation into places they can call home.
It's lovely. And as you said, in your area in Keighley and Bradford, it's the area of, what did you say? UK capital, with Bradford being UK capital of culture in 2025. And again, the amount of investment that will be going into that it sets cities up, doesn't it? It really does. Property prices are going to be going up, aren't they?
Totally. We're seeing it already. We're seeing it already. And if you look back at the previous two cities, so it's Coventry in 2017 and Hull, in 21 and Hull in 2017. The year before and the year after capital culture, those cities saw growth in some areas. Coventry 49%, Hull 71%. That is massive.
Wow.
Even take that out of the equation. Savills, who are one of the biggest agents and predictors of growth in the country, said that Yorkshire is due to go up 28.2% by 2028. Wow. So there are so many ways that people who want to invest can benefit and help other people at the same time.
And I think that ethical way of doing it, and thank you, Jackie, because you know what? You live and breathe helping people and supporting people how to have abundant lives, contented lives which are meaningful. And whereas, in a hotel room, you probably couldn't hold down a decent, steady job. You don't know where your next accommodation is going to come from. You've got people in there that you don't want to be mixing with. You've got noise, you've got overcrowding. As you say, you've got health issues from both the physical health issues, the mental health issues, your kids in an environment where you don't know who's down the hallway from you. Yeah, it just offers families just a wonderful stepping stone into having a real difference and meaning in their lives, contentment, a start, a proper way that they can come home and it's home sweet home. They can look forward to going home, they can settle, and that whole unit can just flourish, which is beautiful. It really is. And again, with all that investment, the jobs that there's going to be then for them as well can really benefit as well, and all the educational facilities that are going to be improving. I love what you're doing. I think it's fantastic. And once you're involved from an investment perspective, one of the things is, being on call for all of your tenants, and something not working and you've got to pay for it, expenses, etc., redecorating, etc. If you know that most of these things are going to get taken care of by the local authorities, well, that's just amazing, isn't it? Because you've got all of that great thing that you're benefiting from as an extra income, but you're not having to take out this cost associated with being a landlord.
Exactly. And we also help whoever we're working with. We help them find the house. We do all the case progression for them. So we're chasing solicitors. We're getting the surveys done. We're doing everything. We introduce them to the broker. Everything we manage on their part to keep it as passive as possible for them. So literally, it's a case of, yes, I want to go ahead, sign, and then just check the bank account as the rent comes in. I mean, I thank the universe every day for how lucky I am, and that I'm in a position that I can do something to help other people, because there's so much in the world where people moan about the littlest things and get really upset about things that really, in the scheme of things, mean nothing. And when you actually look at your lifestyle, I look at ours and I think, well, I live in a nice house. I'm able to have my dogs and my cats. We're able to go on holiday. We are so lucky that we are in a position to do what we're able to do. And anything that you can do to help other people get part way towards that has got to be the right thing to do.
Oh, well, Jackie, what a wonderful place. We'll leave it there because I think that's a beautiful way to end the podcast and show. How can people get hold of you?
Okay, so they can follow us for the property side. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. So it's either Jackie Collier Property or Airworth Property Services Limited. So follow us on social media is probably the easiest thing, or email me, which is Jackie@Airworth, AIREWORTH, airworthproperty.co.uk. I'm happy to have a chat with anybody who wants to get involved and feels like it's something that would benefit them and benefit other people. On the dog side, the Facebook page is Happy Paws Rescue UK, CIC. So again, Facebook page, or email me and I will give you all the information. And if there's any way that you feel happy to set up or donate, the PayPal account is, I'm going to have to look because I can never remember what
Don't
it is.
worry. I think that basically people can be in touch, and we just make sure that everything's on the show notes as well.
Yeah.
And it's just lovely. It's been a real joy to speak
I've
to you.
loved it. Thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it.
Oh, absolutely. I've loved every minute of it. So it's just wonderful to know that, you know what, people look at business owners and they think, oh, you're screwing everybody, you're getting all of this money and blah, blah, blah. It's not like that with you guys. You're there to offer huge support, ethical, value-based support for both the investors and the people that are living in the property, and for those lovely doggies to give them special life and all that joy that they bring to a family as well. So that's just lovely. So thank you so much, Jackie. It's been great.
Thank you.
Oh, and for everybody listening, thank you as well, because it's nice to have an inspiring conversation like this with somebody who's so heart-centered in what they're doing. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Be in touch with Jackie because she's a very, very astute business lady as well. And you'll learn a lot from having a chat with her. So until next time, everybody, carry on caring, and we'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye now.